Great to have you along for this Wednesday, the 23rd of November. TSB, Talk Sport Business on Talk 100.3. Well, the headlines are certainly not good for Australian cricket right now. The fallout is there from having been World Cup champions to not even making it out of their group to the semi-finals. And the coach who got them to win the World Cup last year, well, he remains silent, Justin Langer, but he's finally spoken out to a journalist, and it's really a reflection of the media. He's come out and said, for all the people that leaked stories to the media, and said, sources reveal people don't like Justin Langer from inside the camp. He's come out and said, they're not sources, they're cowards because they didn't tell it to my face.
That is so true. That is so true. And I like his approach from that perspective that, yes, you need to say it on your face. But then when you do this... Where does it take you next is the question.
Well, this is it. It's a case of winning the battle but losing the war, isn't it?
Fair point.
You might feel better to get it off your chest, but unfortunately for Justin Langer, when you hear the interview, we've got the grab here, it's still burning inside of him. He hasn't let go. As hard as it is, someone needs to sit him down. And like I'm some guy who got pearls of wisdom, but you feel like anyone who's been in the situation, you need to teach them to... Look, you just need to accept this has happened, as appalling as it is. And the way you feel, you need to accept that.
It is, it's easy to say from, when you're sitting outside and probably getting big bucks as a psychiatrist and, talking about mental health and all of that. But for someone who's put his heart and soul and effort to do everything that was possible, get them to the World Championship and then, receive and be on the receiving end of, everything bad, it will stay and it will sting. Small things sting us. Kitch, this is way big.
Well, here is Justin Langer and his thoughts on being sacked.
Everyone was being nice to my face, and I was reading about this stuff. I'm going, and half of it, I swear to God, on my kids' lives, it was like, I cannot believe this is one making the papers. I've got to believe there's, you hear a lot of journalists use the word source. A source says. I would say, change that word for coward. A coward says. Not a source, because they've either got an axe to grind with someone and they won't come and say it to your face, or they're just leaking stuff for their own agenda. I hate that. That's just so... But then, so Painey, we had this conversation and he goes, mate, I'm out of sleep. I said, mate, just be 100% honest with me. And I'm sitting there going, you're joking. Awesome. No worries. It was like a gift. I've learned that in life. And people say, very intense. Don't mistake intensity with honesty. Think we're being nice or think we're being soft and we're not clear. Be clear. Tim Paine was really clear with me. It was awesome. And like I'm clear, one thing I will always say, when people talk to me, they will never go to sleep at night wondering if it's the truth. And because it's clear, it's honest, it's kind. Tim Paine was honest with me. I thought, Paine, I felt like jumping through the FaceTime and giving him a hug. Thank you so much. And then this is the killer for me, was that he gave me some feedback. Then I rang Finchy. I said, Finchy, because I had this meeting the night, I said, Finchy, I said, mate, we've been captain and coach for 4 years. He goes, yeah. I know. He goes, yeah, I've been a bit of a pussy, haven't I? I don't like confrontation. What do you mean confrontation, mate? Just tell me. So he'd tell me. I'm going, oh, yeah, cool. And he's going, what, you're not upset? No, what do you mean upset? This is so fixable. This is easy, mate. And I've got a curious mind. Like I said, 63 in 6 hours of batting. At the end of my career, I was belting them. You evolve, you get better. That's life, right? So they give me this feedback. I said, no. And I spoke to Pat Cummins. And Pat Cummins said to me probably 5 times, oh, mate, this might be brutally honest. I said, Pat, there is nothing brutal about your feedback. What's brutal is I'm hearing it behind my back through the media or through sources. And no one's telling me. There's nothing brutal. Tell me. He goes, oh, yeah, no worries. Great, mate. The hardest thing for me of it all, was I got the feedback. I did something about it. We won the T20 World Cup. We won the Ashes. We were number 1 in the world. I've never enjoyed coaching more. I still got sacked. That's the hardest thing. Because you can't give someone to give someone feedback, do something about it. It'd be like, imagine me saying to a player, says to me, oh, coach, I'm the best one-day player in the world. I'm the best test cricketer in the world. I want to get in the T20 side. Okay, what do I have to do? I give them some advice. And they say, oh, thanks so much, coach. I'm going to go and work on that. Works on it. We pick him, give him the opportunity. He gets 5 man of the matches in the first 5 games. Well done. Actually, we're going to drop you anyway, mate, because we like someone better. And the other thing is, they used to talk about mutiny on deck. They say in leadership the captain comes out, 1, when the iceberg presents, when there's crisis, 2, when there's stormy waters, or 3, when there's mutiny on deck. What I've learned about mutiny on deck is that it's usually 1 or 2 voices, and they're the loudest voices, and people listen to loud voices.
Yeah, so there's Justin Langer, who is still very vocal. And look, it's very hard to disagree with what he said, but I just wonder if this is going to affect his coaching opportunities going forward.
It could, when you do all of these media interactions, not everything goes well your side. We saw an interview, cutting off ties between Manchester United and Cristiano Ronaldo, and that was just one interview where Ronaldo said that he was not happy at the club. This statement, this interview where he's actually gone ahead vocal and said that, hey, they're cowards, they're not sources, and all of those things. I don't know. I mean, if someone really likes him, they'll hire him for sure, but they'll have to answer to the higher ups.
Yeah, look, it's very, very interesting, and I think that it goes back to that old view of there's 3 sides to every story. There's one side, there's the other side, and then there's the truth.
That's true.
And I think that Justin Langer did have a reputation as being a bit of a different generation, and I just don't think it mixed. Is the feedback I got. One thing that is clear is that Justin Langer, I mean, he's like our Raul Dravid. He's held in such high regards,
right,
that the brand of the Australian cricket team has been negatively devalued.
True.
Because of the perceived treatment of Justin Langer. I mean, it's like if Dravid or Tendulkar were coaching and all the players turned on him. Well, everyone would be like, whoa, hang on. These are the forefathers that built the team and the culture.
No, I completely agree with you, but then, see, this is where you need to try and understand that what is the third part of the story.
Yeah.
It is a 3-legged race. We've heard one side, we've heard the second side. What is the third part of the story, which is the truth? But irrespective of that, while I do feel that Langer might just find it a little difficult to get some coaching assignments coming up with this. I personally feel that it's important for the world to know your side of the story, because otherwise it always stays at just a unidirectional conversation, which happened from one side. Whatever was said by the board, whatever was said by the players, it'll always stay like that. It'll never come back to the people who can make a wise decision and call who was right, what was wrong, and how much was it wrong. If Langer wouldn't have come out, this side of the story would have never been perceived or thought if people would have just been fed by a unidirectional statement.
Yeah, I think that some people can just assume, oh, that's okay. If you people didn't like me, I'll move on with life.
Yeah.
But I think it's very, very hard when you're battling these ideas of some people find it really hard to believe that other people say and do things differently. And I think that's where Justin's coming from, is that he handles people. If he doesn't like you or doesn't like something you're doing, he will tell it to your face.
Right.
And he expects some people to say it to him to their face so he can improve. And I think that's where he's struggling to understand that some people haven't done that. And I think in a normal workplace that happens, but in such a high performance situation, you expect that those honest conversations can be had.
Yes and no. I mean, as much as I am a kind of person who would like to have honest conversations front on, tell me what is wrong and I'll try and sort it out. If you go behind my back, tell the world that, listen, he's doing this wrong, that's not going to help me, that's not going to help the setup. And I'm completely with Langer from that perspective. But not everyone is the same, Nokic. Even if at the highest level we've known, even in corporate organizations,
there's backstabbing that goes on.
Absolutely. There's insecurity, there's backstabbing, there's favoritism. If I don't like the coach, I will not go in and tell him and then probably say that, hey, the boys are saying this. Maybe we should look at it from this perspective, a different angle altogether. If I don't like the coach, if I like the coach, then yeah, maybe. Right? If I'm looking that, hey, maybe if this guy goes off, probably another coach who's my favorite comes in. Something like this happened for Anil Kumble. Right? Kumble was the coach of the Indian side, but they went up straight and told the board that, listen, we don't like his way of working. And he was a disciplinarian, didn't really work with Virat Kohli and his boys.
I understand. TSB, Talksport Business on Talk 100.3. If you have a view on this, let us know your thoughts. 0586861003. Still got 3 more matches to come in the FIFA World Cup in Qatar this afternoon. A big one today. Germany versus Japan. That's coming up at 5 p.m. It's then Spain versus Costa Rica at 8. And then Belgium, who were sort of in the last couple of years of their golden generation. Many a year, they were always dark horses to try and win the World Cup. But
True.
This year, they're taking on Belgium in their first match. Belgium are rather taking on Canada, one of those success stories that haven't been in a World Cup for 30-odd years that have made their way in.
Well, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see Canada doing what they do best is obviously spread cheer. And if they do that by winning a game or two, it's going to be all the more fun.
TSB